What's going on, guys? I came across this article this morning talking about federal student loans, and let's talk about it because these are some shocking numbers that I don't think that we were expecting. I mean, some of us were, but let's talk about it. Federal student loan delinquency rates highest in 21 years as COVID mortician fades away. Sad, sad, sad. Federal Reserve data shows 12.9% of loans entering serious delinquency after pandemic payment pauses end. You got to start paying your loans now, and 13% are refusing. So, let's talk about it. Yeah. Right now, I believe, what is it, $1.6 trillion. And then it's actually broken down into degrees. So let's actually look at what people are taking out these degrees for, and let's see if it even makes sense to even get these student loans that everyone tells you when you're 18 years old to go get a degree at. Let's see. 2022 median debt by degree. Let's break it down. Theology and religious vocations, $37,000. That's what the median federal loan is. And the thing is that we as a taxpayer are on the hook for this because we subsidize these loans. 92% of federal student loan debt is taxpayer money. Outstanding federal student loan balances, $1.7 trillion. Average balance, $38,000. So, something got to change, and if you just look at these charts, my gosh. Yeah, and then it's broken down by degree, and then you really wonder, is it really worth it to get a religious education studies or to get a crafts degree? You're gonna be on the hook for $29,000 to get a crafts degree. Okay. Ceramic studies or ceramic sciences and engineering. Maybe. I don't know. Culinary arts. It doesn't cost you 30 grand to go be a cook. I'll tell you that right now. Religious. Sacred music. I mean, show me these jobs. These colleges that push these degrees. Show me the jobs that correlate with that. I mean, let me go here. Find me a job. Find me a job. This is my degree. Find me a job. Job. Music director. Choir director. You know, it's a noble thing. No doubt it's a noble thing to do, but are they really going to make you show you the piece of paper to get this job as the choir director at a church? I don't know. And look at some of these other ones on here. Dance. And this is just for a bachelor's degree, guys, by the way. We're going to go to master's after this. But this is just for a bachelor's. You know, some of these, it makes sense, engineering, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Nursing, it sucks, $35,000, but you make that. There's jobs out there, and you're going to make more than that, plenty more than that as a nurse. But behavioral science is at $42,000. I don't... Can you explain that to me? Dance, can you explain that to me? Design and applied arts, can you explain that to me? Can anybody at these colleges explain these degrees and what jobs this actually creates? And I mean, these student loans don't make sense. The prices that we have to pay as a taxpayer, because as of right now, 13% don't want to pay. So let's actually look, what are people actually getting these student loans for? Let's go to bachelor's, religious. Library sciences and administration. Dance. Applied arts. I love history, man. I love history, but I'm not going to go $26,000 in federal student loans to get a history degree. It's tough. Music. Show me the jobs. Show me the jobs that make it make sense. Show me the jobs. And show me the jobs that actually require this. That's another thing, too. A lot of these jobs, they don't care. They want to see how good you are, how proficient you are. And if you spend 4 years, think about this, if you spend 4 years actually working a 9-to-5 job, learning the craft, just like a tradesperson does when they go through the process. 4 years doing 9 to 5, you become pretty damn proficient at your job, wouldn't you say? You've had 4 years. But you spent 4 years at college And how many classes are actually beneficial to you? How many of those classes actually helped you out to doing what you're doing right now in your job? Maybe 5. I mean, seriously, think about it. How many of those classes that you took in college actually correlate directly and help you out to your job right now? Unless you're a doctorate, unless you're a lawyer, music, let's go to master's. Dance. $110,000 a year. Show me the jobs. Dance jobs. Show me the jobs. I got my master's degree in dance. Show me the jobs. $30 an hour. $30 an hour. $30 an hour. $25 an hour. What's that? A college teaching other people to get the same degree so they can go make $30 an hour. That's the only job that pays. That's what's so sickening. Look at that. I just proved it right there. The only job that pays any money is the college pushing people to get the same goddamn degree to go make $30 an hour. And then if you want to make decent money, 76% that's a lot of money, go be the instructor to teach more kids to go get the same degree. Is that not a Ponzi scheme? I mean, at what point do we call it off for what it is? $15 an hour. I mean, I haven't seen a single job besides a college job that even pays. $35,000 a year, $45,000 a year. Let's see. What kind of requirements do I need? No degree. It's this one. No degree. $50 an hour. That's, but you gotta get the clientele. Dollies, you gotta get the clientele. The piece of paper doesn't give you the clientele. What does the piece of paper actually do? Is you can show it off so you can say, I know what I'm talking about? No, it's about how good you are at dance and how good you are at teaching people how to dance. It has nothing to do with this stupid piece of paper with all the bullshit classes that you took that had nothing to do with even dancing. And that's just one example. We can go to any of these. Performing arts. Show me. I don't even know how that ends up as performing arts and I get border patrol agent. Okay. That's higher paying than all these other bullshit jobs out here. Oh, besides this one. Okay. Urgently hiring. Yeah, 140 my ass. Yeah. I don't see any jobs that are. What was the degree that I got my master's in? Performing arts. Yeah, I got my degree in this, guy, so I'm looking for a job. Show me the jobs. But they'll offer it. Oh yeah, they'll let you get this degree though. To do what? The thing is that you can't show me jobs. That's the problem. But yet you can push people into these degrees that are worthless. And I got nothing against the music. I got nothing against the arts. I love that. I think that's very important for humanity as a whole. But I got a problem with forcing kids into thinking that they need a degree to do something that anybody can do. And it doesn't take a degree to do it. It just takes proficiency in your craft, aka dance, aka anything performing. It's about how good you are. A degree doesn't make you good at something. A degree is just a piece of paper. It just proves what? What does it prove? Does it prove that you can dance? Does it prove that you're the best dancer? Does it prove that you're the best designer because you have a degree? Because you went through some bullshit class and you got 120 credits? And then you wonder why 13% of people are refusing to pay their student loans. It doesn't make sense. And then you look at, this is another scary number. And scary number 2 is that the credit card debt. Where is that at? I saw that earlier. Yeah, look at this. Credit card debt rose to $27 billion in the second quarter. And then you got auto loans. So you got this trifecta that's just destroying our generation, my generation, the 20 to 30-year-old, because we were told, go to college. It's a scam. They said go to college. They said everything will work out. Just go to college. You have 4 years to figure it out, right? That's what everyone said. That's what all the high school advisors, that's what your parents said. They said go to college, you'll figure it out. Well, guess what? You went to college. You can't find a job, and now you still have these student loans for these degrees. You still have these student loans for this dance degree. You still have these student loans for these psychology degrees. You've just shackled yourself for at least 10 years to monthly payments. Instead of allowing yourself to be able to, save up enough money for a down payment, or, start a family, get married, go on vacation. You're now shackled by monthly payments for degrees that you don't need, that are worthless. That's the truth. And these colleges keep pushing this. This is sickening. This is sickening. And this is sickening that they allowed this. Because, you pursue your dreams. That's what they say. Pursue your dreams. And I'm all in favor of the dance. I'm all in favor of the arts. But I'm not in favor of the taxpayer being on the hook for these student loans. Because right now, we're on the hook for $1.7 trillion, and you have 13% of people refusing to pay. And the number is going to keep going higher because they just started making people pay. So, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. I got my opinions about student loans. I think the whole system's screwed up. I don't think that college overall is a scam, but I think that there's better ways of doing it that don't lead you into $100,000 in student loans for a dance degree. That's all I got. Peace.